Hey everyone. So for today's activities in English 1102, we're doing a fair bit. So you're going to have a short video about paragraph development. How do you put paragraphs together for rhetorical analysis? That's been an issue that when I teach this assignment, students have questions like how do I construct paragraphs for this assignment? Something else that comes up is the thesis statement. What does a thesis statement look like for a rhetorical analysis? And then something else I'm looking for in this assignment, I'm looking at pretty closely, is your ability to organize your ideas and that you move purposely from one idea to another. So this video is going to cover paragraph development. There's another video from a course that I've taught in the past that's about thesis statements and then transitions and organization. So there's a lot going on today. I do kind of want to address like where we are as a class and things that I need to cut out in order for us to make room so that you actually have an opportunity to do a good job on the rhetorical analysis, because it's a big assignment. It's one I take pretty seriously. So we have in the syllabus the reflection essay, and that's usually something that folks throw together at the last minute, and it's usually written after an entire semester. With this 7-week class, there's not a lot to reflect on. Things have gone super quick, and I did not do a great job pacing things from the film review to the rhetorical analysis. So what I'm doing is I'm not going to require the reflection essay. You don't need to do it. We're just going to focus on the rhetorical analysis. So today I'm going to talk about developing paragraphs, developing a thesis statement, and how to put together an organization plan for your essay. Wednesday, your draft is due. And then by the end of this week, I'd like you to meet with me to talk about your draft. We can meet in person. We can meet over Discord or over Zoom or however you want to go about it. But you'll need to make an appointment to meet with me. So that's the plan for this week. Next week, you'll be working on your rhetorical analysis, because there'll probably be a hot mess when they come in on Wednesday. But I think this group, you all that I'm talking to, we're a very small class. I think that you're going to be just fine. You'll meet with me by the end of this week, and you can meet with me again sometime next week to make sure that your revision's on the right path. So that's kind of the plan going forward in the class. And I apologize if there's been confusion because we're cutting things out. And although I don't think you're going to be too sad about missing out on an essay. Yeah, probably not. Anyhow. That's the plan moving forward. Let's talk, though, a little bit about how to develop paragraphs for the rhetorical analysis. When you're putting together a body paragraph for the rhetorical analysis, you're focusing on one particular rhetorical issue. Your thesis statement should talk about the audience that you're going to focus on for your project. It should also mention the rhetorical issues that you're going to address. The next video that you're going to watch is going to be about putting together a thesis statement, and the body paragraph should help support that thesis statement. I don't think that's too controversial or too new to folks. But what do you actually put in a body paragraph for a rhetorical analysis? This is a sample paper, and I'll make it available to you all. It's not perfect, it's not great, it's maybe B-ish kind of material, but it kind of ticks off a lot of the things that I'm asking for in the rhetorical analysis. The paragraphs are pretty much developed. There's evidence and examples from the speech and from the student's research to support the writer's ideas. So it's doing the basics of what I'm asking for. So each paragraph deals with a particular issue. I don't necessarily like organizing an essay. I shouldn't like. I don't think it's very effective to organize an essay based on what happens first in a speech and then what happens second. The writer loses this organization pattern later in the essay. It's much more meaningful and purposeful. But starting off here, I don't think is all that great. What the writer then does pretty well is stick to the idea of credibility. So this paragraph is about the appeal to ethos, the appeal to somebody's character, their credibility. So there's examples in here. Mary Fisher talks about how she, was kind of friends and knows President Bush and their family. That to an audience of Republicans is going to be very influential at that time. So that's a great detail. There's also research kind of getting into later paragraphs where I think she cites the LA Times and to help support what the writer is talking about. So using examples from the speech and examples from the research within the body paragraphs, that's absolutely what you should be doing. I would also encourage you to think about multiple examples per paragraph. So what are the different ways that Mary Fisher or Malcolm X might be trying to appeal to credibility? So thinking about the different ways that somebody can go about in presenting themselves as credible or trustworthy to an audience. That's going to be really important to think of. In the body paragraph, here's the body paragraph where the LA Times is mentioned. So kind of supporting what the writer's saying. So going from credibility to delivery, and then, this quote kind of speaks to the delivery issue. So each body paragraph, it focuses on a specific rhetorical issue. So you probably have a paragraph about credibility or delivery or arrangement or style or appeals to emotion. That's definitely a must if you're talking about Fisher. So you're kind of organizing the speech and you're organizing your paragraphs around a specific rhetorical issue, and you're always bringing it back to here's why I think it was particularly persuasive or not persuasive to this audience that the speaker was talking to. So that's how to kind of put together a body paragraph. So you kind of have these buckets of things that you're going to look at in your speech. And you get a sense of, when you read it or listen to it a few times, you kind of get a sense of the things that are going to kind of stand out. You listen to Malcolm X, you definitely got to talk about delivery. Oh my goodness. You talk about Mary Fisher, her poise, her appeals to emotion without going overboard. That's huge. And with Richard Nixon, the arrangement of things in his speech, like the way that it's kind of set up in the entire setting of the speech, that's also kind of interesting to talk about. You set up paragraphs around each of those rhetorical issues, and then you provide multiple examples and some research to help support what you're saying. So I just want to give you guys a quick video that kind of explains what a body paragraph and a rhetorical analysis does. If you're lost on this, you need to come talk to me and let me know, and I'd be happy to help you out. But individual body paragraphs, you focus on a rhetorical issue, you bring things back to that audience, and you explain, here's why I think that this was persuasive for this particular audience that Nixon, Malcolm X, or Mary Fisher was trying to persuade. That's it for now. On to thesis statements.